Hi. As I said last session, Jesus' interaction with the woman at the well is for me one of the most important stories of his ministry. This is my second video to dig into this story, like we dug into a small selection of verses in Genesis. I think there are at least 4 topics worth digging into within this story. First, Jesus' decision to talk with a Samaritan woman. Second, his insight into her personal history. Third, Jesus' clarification of the command to love God. And finally, the woman's understanding of the role of the Messiah and Jesus' declaration that he, Jesus, was the Messiah. So let's get into the first of those, Jesus' decision to talk with a Samaritan. His decision to speak with a Samaritan was radical for a Jewish rabbi, man or woman. But Scripture shows the interaction was intentional, not accidental. You see, his parable of the Good Samaritan, holding a Samaritan in a good light, and his later command for the disciples to preach in Samaria reveals a deliberate missional intent. To fully understand his message and the radical nature of this action, we need to examine the roots of the Jewish-Samaritan animosity, a hostility which dates back centuries to the death of King Solomon. Solomon, the son of David, was renowned for his wisdom, but his writings in Proverbs and Ecclesiastes reveals deep flaws. He built the first temple, which was a magnificent masterpiece, but the Mammoth Project created heavy financial and labor burdens on the people. Upon his death, this oppression caused a civil split, with the people revolting when Solomon's son, Rehoboam, vowed to rule even more harshly. 11 of the 12 tribes of Israel refused to follow Solomon's son, leaving only Judah in the south, in the Davidic kingdom. Now, beyond the politics, a theological divide had also emerged. The northern tribes believed God should be worshipped where the patriarch, Jacob, had worshipped, rather than in Jerusalem. This interaction at the well was at Jacob's well in Samaria. These revolts against oppression and theological divide established the northern kingdom, which endured a turbulent history marked by violent transfers of power economic misery, and a reliance on foreign empires for protection against Judah, always at their southern doorstep. 2 centuries after Solomon, the Assyrian Empire overran the northern kingdom. The Assyrians exiled the northern kingdom's aristocracy into slavery and forced foreign captives of other areas they had conquered to resettle into the region. The Assyrians followed this practice of forced immigration across the territories they conquered. And of course, this led to intermarriage within Samaria, which altered Samaria's demographics and their religious practices. So even the Samaritans who maintained an Abrahamic monotheism accepted only the Pentateuch, the first 5 books of the Old Testament, as their Torah. They rejected the books of the prophets, despite the fact that major prophets like Elijah, Elisha, Isaiah, Hosea had been sent directly to the northern kingdom. This history contextualizes Jesus' encounter with a Samaritan at the well. His choice was a radical declaration that these centuries of historical baggage were to be swept away, not ignored or excused or forgotten, but simply and permanently cleared. This declaration applies to everyone. Do not let the past fester or define you. Instead, clear the baggage and follow Jesus. Follow God. This I believe. Aloha.